Good afternoon, children. Today we are going to start with the next chapter of geography, Inside Our Earth. The Earth, our homeland, is a dynamic planet, as we all know. It is constantly undergoing changes inside and outside. Have you ever wondered what lies in the interior of the earth? Interior means inside. What is there exactly inside the earth? What is the earth made up of? कभी सोचते होगे कि earth किस चीज की बनी है? Now we will start with a kind of comparative analysis. If you have ever peeled an onion, you would see that there are concentric rings. एक के बाद एक layer है. Similar to the structure of an onion, you have the earth's interior also. So, as you can see, there are different layers which are visible in an onion when you have a cross section. Similarly, inside the earth, there are three main parts, right? The crust, the mantle, and the core. Now, next to the crust is the mantle, and next to the mantle is core. Now, each of these three layers are further subdivided into two sections, that is, the outer layers and the inner layers. What we will be discussing today is we'll briefly be understanding these components and what are rocks and minerals. Now let's first start with the crust. As I said, the crust is the outermost layer. So when you have the kind of outermost layer that is visible on the earth's surface, which includes the mountains, the plateaus, the plains, itself is known as the crust. Now this crust can be of two types. We can classify it as one that forms the continents or the landmass, and the other that forms the oceans. Now one which forms the oceans is predominantly silica and magnesium, SEMA. The one that forms the continent is, the one that forms the continent, it has silica and aluminium, that is Sial. We call them Sial and SEMA. In the continents, you have much higher thickness or much more thickness, which is around 35 kilometers in contrast to the oceans, which is only 5 kilometers deep. However, despite being 35 and 5 kilometers, as we have seen, the crust is considered to be one of the thinnest layers amongst all the three layers. And what were the three layers? The crust, the mantle, and the core. So you have the crust, which is the thinnest of all. And this arrangement is like a jigsaw puzzle. Now you must be wondering, what is a jigsaw puzzle? ये ऐसा एक पजल होता है जो एक कॉन्टिनेंट ऐसा लगता है दूसरे कॉन्टिनेंट में आराम से फिट हो जाएंगे. दैट्स कॉल्ड अ jigsaw puzzle. So they are kind of pieces which are fitted together one into the other. As you can see, another model of plate tectonics, and you have the kind of arrangement of pieces which could be seen one over the other. For example, under the continental drift theory and the plate tectonic theory, if we see, it was previously considered that the earth is a kind of single land mass. So you have parts of America, South America especially, that closely fits into the part of Africa, and so on and so forth. So you have a jigsaw puzzle arrangement which can be seen over the Earth's crust. Now, as I said, crust can be further subdivided into the upper crust and the lower crust. The boundary that separates the upper crust and the lower crust is known as the Conrod boundary. And finally, between the crust and the mantle, you have another layer of discontinuity. Now, I stop here with my lesson. You please go through the page number 1 and do not leave the do you knows. Now, the very first do you know on this page is the deepest mine in the world is in South Africa. It is about 4 kilometers deep. In search of oil, engineers have dug a hole about 6 kilometers deep. Right? Another do you know? To reach the center of the earth, which is not possible, you have to dig a hole 6,000 kilometers deep on the ocean floor. Now go through the page number 1. Try to read through all the darkened words till I see you once again.